team are fighting for a playoff spot. Kansas City's tough. Los Angeles Chargers play today, and they need a win today to keep their playoff hopes alive.
The Raiders have won the toss, elected to defer. Giorgio Tavecchio will get things started. Khalif Raymond is back deep for the Giants, who will start from their 25-yard line, led onto the field by Geno Smith as we head downstairs to Christina Pink.
Hey, Kenny, well, certainly an unfamiliar feeling for Eli Manning on game day. Came into the stadium, went through his normal pregame warm-ups, but he told me before the game that, yeah, this feels a lot different. I feel like I'm on call because I don't know whether I'm going to play or not. He said it was a hard week for him, but what helped was all the support he got from all of his former teammates. He also told me he has no regrets about not at least taking the opportunity to start as the streak comes to an end today. He said, this isn't a preseason game. It would not have been fair to me, not fair to Geno, but he's here to help today throughout this game.
Thanks, Christina. This is Arlene's Darkland on first down as Eli Manning's streak ends at 210 consecutive regular season starts. So it's the former New York Jet, Geno Smith, 2-0 in his career against the Raiders among his 12 wins as a starter.
And Geno Smith, I think, has handled this as well as you could. And when we talked to him yesterday, he said Eli Manning has been nothing but supportive to him and Davis Webb, the two backups to him throughout the entirety of the season. And look, Ben McAdoo made this decision because his team is 2-9 and they need to evaluate the position.
By the way, Davis Webb inactive today, not in uniform. Empty backfield on 2nd and 7. First pass from Smith is intended for the rookie tight end, Evan Ingram, with Navarro Bowman defending.
And Evan Ingram lined up in the slot. I think he's the guy on this offense. He's been that way since Odell Beckham's been hurt. The guy that they're trying to feature. You know, Kenny, this offense really went through the way Odell Beckham played when they lost him. They didn't have anybody else step up and make plays. It's got to be Evan Ingram today.
Also lost Brandon Marshall, Dwayne Harris, number of offensive linemen. Third down pass intended for Roger Lewis Jr. with Sean Smith defending. So Geno Smith and the Giants go 3 and out.
That's not the start they want, obviously. You get 2 straight passes incomplete. Good play by Sean Smith there to break up that pass intended for Roger Lewis. And I'll be interested to see how this sideline reacts, this Giant sideline reacts to the way the offense plays today. They have not been good all year long.
Brad Wing punting from his 18-yard line. Taken out to 21 by Jalen Richard. And he is out to the 39-yard line. Ball comes loose.
You know, they have not been a good punt return team this entire year. Jalen Richard has very few return opportunities, and I tell you, you go 3 and out on offense with the Giants, and they're one of the worst at going 3 and out in the league. And I think the Raiders are going to get very fortunate to recover this fumble here. Great play by the special teams unit there, but I don't know how they recovered that. There's so many white jerseys around that football. Raiders start on offense.
The strip by one of the newest Giants, Ray Armstrong, picked up this week from the 49ers. Raiders recover. So Derek Carr and the Raiders go to work from their 40-yard line. Coming off a 21-14 win over Denver. Raiders now at 5-6. This is Marshawn Lynch on first down. Gain of 2, setting up the 2nd down and 8 for the 4th-year Raider out of Fresno State.
Derek Carr this year working with new offensive coordinator Todd Downing, and one of the things that has been empowered upon Derek Carr this year is the ability to change plays at the line of scrimmage, do things that he can get out of bad football plays. Keep an eye on that today. Their working relationship is great. We talked to both of them this week as well, and they seem to be on the same page on this offense.
47. Express. That's up. 2nd down at 8, 42-yard line. Again, it is Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch is close to a first down. Stopped just shy of midfield by Landon Collins. This Raiders offense without their top two wide receivers today in Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree.
They got two very good players on the left side of that offensive line and Donald Penn. But I think the guy that's going to be important is Jared Cook. We mentioned tight end for the Giants, but Jared Cook is going to have to pick up the slack. No Amari Cooper. Michael Crabtree is suspended. You got a bunch of unheralded and unheard of really receivers playing with Derek Carr, so Jared Cook's day is going to have to be huge.
Raiders send in an extra lineman, Adal Alexander, and Lynch picks up a first down and more. Marshawn Lynch will go all the way 50 yards for a Raiders touchdown.
Well, the Giants got some issues at linebacker this week. Watch Kelvin Sheppard. He stopped starting for Jonathan Casillas and just a little bit over pursuit here. Good block out front by Gethsemane. And Marshawn Lynch just gashes them to start this football game. And I got to tell you, Ken, that's pretty par for the course for the Giants. They are not very good at run defense. One guy out of his gap. Huge touchdown for the Raiders.
Fourth in the last 4 games for Lynch. His 6th of the season. Tavecchio, the extra point. So the Giants go 3 and out. Raiders score on their 3rd play from scrimmage. Took only 3 plays. Marshawn Lynch, all 60 yards on the drive for the Raiders. His longest run of the season.
Oh, they know the deal. The Raiders know the deal. The Giants come into this game 31st in the league in yards per game on the ground. And Marshawn Lynch, 26 carries last week, Kenny, the most he's had all season long. I think, in fact, only twice have they handed him the ball more than 15 times in a game. So expect a lot of what we've already seen with Marshawn Lynch.
What's at stake for Jack Del Rio's Raiders today? Well, a share of first place because the Chiefs lost their 4th straight, 38-31 to the New York Jets. So a victory by the Raiders would even their record at 6-6. Chargers in action against the Cleveland Browns. Giants went 3 and out on their first possession. First and 10 from the 25-yard line as Darkwa is forced back by Bruce Irvin.
Kenny, it's a patchwork offensive line. Chad Wheeler gets a start at right tackle again. Jalapio playing right guard, and we already mentioned what we think Evan Ingram needs to be for this offense, but they're trying to find balance. They're trying to run the football, but with the guys that they've had up front, it's been a struggle.
There we go. Second down at 14. Smith from the shotgun. Inside handoff, and Vereen goes nowhere.
Big Justin Ellis in there on that tackle. They have some studs up front. Obviously, you can talk Khalil Mack all you want. This team is led by Navarro Bowman. He's been in the building for about 5 weeks playing middle linebacker for this football team. And he brings a lot of experience, a lot of energy to these young players. I think he's done a great job really galvanizing this defense and playing fast start here today.
Giants have gained negative yardage on their first 5 plays. This is Vereen on the screen. 2 possessions, 2 3 and outs.
You come on the run, you're on the road, you're playing Geno Smith at quarterback. 2 incompletions on the first drive, 3 negative plays on your second drive. You struggle to find a way how they're going to get out of Oakland alive playing like this.
Wink punting for the second time from his 10-yard line. Richard fields it out to 37, forced out of bounds immediately by Khalif Raymond. So once again, excellent starting field position for Derek Carr and the Raiders. Marshawn Lynch injured during that 51-yard touchdown run moments ago.
Maybe nothing, but we saw him working on his leg on the sideline, and on that long touchdown run, may have tweaked something. We'll get a chance to see what's going on with Marshawn Lynch on the sideline.
So DeAndre Washington in his second season out of Texas Tech in the backfield. Raiders start from the 39. This is Cordero Patterson. On the end around, the longtime Minnesota Viking. No gain.
Go back to that touchdown run real quick, Kenny, and just full speed. You can see Marshawn Lynch just a little gimpy here, right about there. I said it could be nothing, but he went right over, talked to the trainer. He's on the bike now. See if we can get Christina down on the field to find out what's going on with Marshawn Lynch.
Second down and 10 for Derek Carr and the Raiders. 3 wide receivers set. This is Patterson. Cordero Patterson out to the 46. Gain of 7. Setting up 3rd down and 3 as we check out the Giants defensive unit.
Yeah, Snacks Harrison was a question mark. He didn't practice all week. His matchup inside today, I think, is one that we're going to have to keep an eye on. No Eli Apple again. He's inactive for the 3rd straight time on the back end of this defense. So they're missing some parts, but they still have Landon Collins. He's an exciting player. We'll get a chance to highlight him as well today. Kenny, we've had these guys a couple of times, and I got to say that on film, they're at least playing harder than they were earlier in the season. They're going to have to step up here now.
Bit of a hip issue for Eli Apple. Giants without linebacker Jonathan Casillas. That was Patterson. Not enough for the first down. B.J. Goodson made the play.
Well, it's good to see B.J. Goodson back in the lineup. I think he's the guy playing in the middle. He's been up and down all year with the injuries, but he's the one guy, the athletic. He's willing to get involved in the run game. He's got a good pass dropper. He'll definitely help this defense.
Goodson missed the last 4. So without Marshawn Lynch that series, Raiders got the ball to the hands of Cordero Patterson on all 3 plays, could not pick up the first down. Punter Marquette King having an outstanding season. Punting from his 36. Raymond will let it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Geno Smith, the Giants, 2 3-and-outs. Back out onto the field. Eli Manning, Rondé, has not been in this position as a non-starter in a regular season game since November of 2004.
I got to tell you, it's just strange seeing him over there trying to get his earpiece in, listen to the play calls.
Dark one, nothing.
Well, this offense doesn't look any different than it has under Eli Manning at center. Trying to establish a run game, missing blocks up front, tackles for loss. It's more of the same. And, you know, a lot of that falls on the offensive line, but some of that's got to fall on the play calling here as well. And they've changed play callers. Ben McAdoo obviously gave way to Mike Sullivan, and it's just been a struggle. 24 drives without a touchdown, and they're 43-and-outs coming into this football game, Kenny, are the most in the NFL.
Only Giants touchdown in their last game against Washington came from their defense. But Janoris Jenkins, who is now on injured reserve, as Smith rolls right and then throws it away.
Well, Khalil Mack, this guy is a special player right there, bottom of your screen here. Just watch the agility he does getting around Wheeler here, putting Geno Smith under duress. And this is the one thing the Giants talked about with Geno Smith, his ability to move the pocket, maybe create something out of the pocket, because this offensive line has been so suspect all year. Not able to get anything there, though.
8 plays, -1 yard for the Giants. They've not yet picked up a first down. This is Shane Vereen, and he will be brought down 3 yards shy of the marker by Danico Autry. So the Giants, for the 3rd straight possession, go 3-and-out.
Well, they're trying to be creative. They're trying to keep this Raiders pass rush at bay. It's already the 3rd screen that we've seen thrown, but they're rallying to the football, and more struggles for this Giants offense.
Now 6 yards, their first 9 plays. Wings 3rd punt here in the first quarter. Richard lost the handle, then recovered, and is down at the 27. Time for a game break. To Los Angeles we go. Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kenny. We head to New Orleans. Panthers down 7-0 early. Jonathan Stewart responds with that 2-yard score. Winner of this one will take sole possession of top of the NFC South Division. Game tied up 7-7. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa. Falcons losing earlier today to the Vikings 14-9. Still no Marshawn Lynch. It's DeAndre Washington set up to the left of Derek Carr. First and 10, 27-yard line for the Raiders. Carr to the outside. He was looking for Johnny Holton. Ross Cockrell defending.
Yeah, Ross Cockrell at one corner, looking down at the other corner. Brandon Dixon starting over here. You know, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie has really just been a nickelback coming in sub situations for this defense, even without Eli Apple and Janoris Jenkins on the football field. So a lot of change. Talking to Spagnuolo before this game is, you know, who's playing on defense? He's like, I'm figuring it out. Same time you're figuring it out. Bunch of new bodies on this side of the ball.
They need name tags. Second down and 10. This is Washington. Giants, since their last game, Rondé, a week ago Thursday against the Redskins, 5 new defensive players on their roster. 3 of them are active today, including Dixon.
No, I think it's crazy that when you're evaluating a roster now, at 2-9, you have the ability to evaluate a roster. You can bring in some guys, but look at the names there. Ray Armstrong was in San Francisco last week. Brandon Dixon is out here playing a significant role. It's tough. There's no excuses for what's going on with the Giants, but the injuries that have hit them have been very significant.
Third down and 12. Our first penalty flags.
False start, number 66 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. Third down.
That's the right guard, Gabe Jackson, who was ejected from the Raiders game last week for making contact with an official during that altercation between Michael Crabtree and your former teammate Aqib Talib.
And that was an expensive ejection too. Hit a ref, it's an automatic $30,000 fine. The only reason I know that, Kenny, because I actually did that on accident one time as well.
Uh-oh. Giants now send in 7 defensive backs. Third down and 17 as Carr fires downfield. He was looking for Isaac Whitney. There were 3 Giants in the vicinity. Whitney just called up from the practice squad this week to replace Michael Crabtree.
Well, Whitney's right there, and all I know about Isaac Whitney is that he can fly. He's got great speed, and Derek Carr buys plenty of time. This is a really good play, though, by Adams. Not panicking, playing through the receiver's hands. That is a good no call, and I know the fans here in the Coliseum are booing. I am taking the side of the DB.
I would be surprised if you did not. King will punt from inside his 10. Raymond back deep for the Giants. Good kick. Wilson Raymond back to the 18. And he's taken down at the 26, a 62-yard punt by Marquette King. And how about Cordero Patterson getting downfield on special teams?
Oh, I love this. Cordero Patterson going past Burhay. You know, he's got the one thing that you cannot teach. Great speed, and wide receiver getting down on punt coverage. A fantastic play. He's excited. Marquette King was even more excited.
Yes, he was. Smith on first down, complete. Out across the 30-yard line to the tight end, Rhett Ellison, for a gain of 5.
Well, let's see if they can get anything going on this drive. 3 straight 3-and-outs, and Kenny, you made the observation. They're playing somewhat at the line of scrimmage. Receivers lined up without coming into the huddle. They're trying to get some tempo in this offense, and this is something different. We came in speculating whether or not they would continue the no huddle without Geno Smith having a lot of reps at it, but it seems to be the case.
Here we go. Second down and 5. It's Darkwa.
They're going to keep trying to run the football, but nowhere to go. This front of this Raiders defense, some big bodies in there. You see the linebackers populate the line of scrimmage, and Darkwa's done some good things as a runner here of late. 4.6 yards per carry on the season, but tough sledding so far early in this game.
Giants looking for their first down, and the play is blown dead.
Neutral zone infraction, number 96 defense. 5-yard penalty, and the result of the penalty is a first down.
That's Danico Autry, and really, you can get in the neutral zone as a defender, but because Jalapio sees it and acts like he influenced him, easy first down for the Giants.
So the Giants pick up their initial first down of the game by a penalty.
I think they'll take it any way they can at this point because of this front of the Raiders is just killing these guys up front early.
Play action on first down. Smith under pressure once again from Khalil Mack. And Geno Smith is out of bounds at the 43 after a gain of 5.
Well, this is a good job by Geno Smith getting out of the pocket, but watch Khalil Mack working on Eric Flowers, and this is what elite pass rushers do. Not only the initial push, but the counter move, the spin, get your quarterback out of the pocket, but Geno Smith shows some of that athleticism, some of the things that they were looking for out of this position today with the movement to pick up some positive yardage.
Spot the ball at the 40, second down and 8 for the Giants. Darkwa up the middle. Orleans Darkwa to the 43-yard line, setting up third down and 5 for Geno Smith. And the New York Giants, we spoke to Geno yesterday. He said he learned a lot throughout the week, the way Eli Manning handled the situation. Smith's first start as a Giant, third down and 5. He finds his tight end Ingram. There is a flag as Ingram takes it into Raiders territory, but we'll check with referee Pete Morelli, and Sterling Shepard, Giant wideout, is shaken up.
Sterling Shepard back from the migraine issue that he had all week. Looks like he's just tying his shoe. I don't think he's hurt.
Number 38 defense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
That's on TJ Carey.
Well, the one thing there, Geno Smith does a really good job stepping up away from the pressure. Khalil Mack, again, on the end of your line of scrimmage, he is just having his way with Chad Wheeler early in this game. He gives a soft shoulder, and man, good job by Geno stepping it up. And here's the penalty on Curry. The hold, but it did not matter with the completion to Evan Ingram.
Off the fake to Wayne Gallman. Smith again under pressure, this time from his college teammate Bruce Irvin, and he throws it away.
Intentional grounding. Quarterback is out of the pocket.
Bruce Irvin. I mean, these play action passes, they know Geno Smith can run, can get out of the pocket, clearly out of the pocket. All he's got to do is get it past the line of scrimmage, and it's not intentional grounding. But I'll tell you, this Raiders team last week came into the game, that game last week, only 14 sacks on the season. They had 5 in that game against Denver, and they're bringing the heat again today.
Second down and 10. Smith's pass is caught. Staying on his feet is Evan Ingram inside the 15. Finally brought down by Bruce Irvin. So Ingram gains 29.
Working on Sean Smith, and Evan Ingram is essentially a wide receiver, right, Kenny? Got great hands. He's had some drop issues. That was a nice catch, and the run after the catch is what you like about Evan Ingram. He's one of the more exciting rookie tight ends in the game. I think he comes in leading all rookies in receptions and yards, and you see a little bit of what gets these Giants excited about him.
First and 10 from the 13-yard line. This is Wayne Gallman. And Gallman takes it down to the 6, Rondé, for a gain of 7. I know you've liked what you've seen during Gallman's rookie season.
I want to see more of Wayne Gallman. Not that I don't like what Orleans Darkwa can provide as a runner, but this guy gives you some slash ability, some ability to make people miss in the hole. You saw it right there. He's just got that burst, that exciting element to his game that I think this running game has lacked. Now, he has some ball security issues. That's why he hasn't had as many snaps as you might expect as a rookie.
Second down and 3. Giants have targeted Ingram 6 times in the red zone. They've all gone for touchdowns. This time they keep it on the ground with Gallman. And he's bottled up by Nicholas Morrow, rookie out of Greenville. Giants now facing a 3rd down and 3.
Well, let's see what they come with. I agree with you, Kenny. He's your best player out there as far as pass catching option. Looks to me like Gino's having some issues in communication with Mike Sullivan on the sideline. They're going to have to take a timeout.
We'll return in 30 seconds after this message from Lowe's. Geno Smith back into the huddle following the timeout.
Well, it's loud here in Oakland. I don't think he has a communication issue. I just think it was he couldn't get in. Now, they struggled in the red zone, the Giants. Nice drive here. 9 plays. See if they can cap it off with a touchdown. Get some points on the board here.
No touchdowns their last 25 possessions. Smith on 3rd down to the end zone. There is a flag.
Based on the way these calls have been going all year, this is going to be offensive pass interference on Roger Lewis. And when you see the pictures of it, watch Lewis try to pick off Curry.
There's no foul for illegal contact as the player was inside 5 yards. However, the result of the play, 1st down, New York at the half-yard line.
Well, Sterling Shepard made the catch inside the 1. No penalty. 1st and goal for the Giants.
Well, I think he told us that wrong because Roger Lewis has a yard to make that contact on the defender.
99 is eligible.
That's maybe behind, a little bit beyond the yard. So either way,
Timeout,
1st down Giants.
New York, 2nd timeout, 30-second timeout.
4 seconds remaining in the quarter. The Giants use their 2nd timeout. We'll welcome in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles after the flag was picked up on the previous play. Dean, what did you see?
The pass interference rules apply more than a yard downfield. So if you look at the play, it's a pick route. The line of scrimmage is the 6. The contact is going to occur right about the 4.5-yard line. That to me looks like a foul for pass interference.
And that's initially what I thought, but the way Pete Morelli told us it was illegal contact as it was on the defense. But
number 99.
Either way, good throw and catch by Geno Smith to Sterling Shepard. And Sterling Shepard, having been out, I think, the only dynamic receiver on this offense, going to have a big day.
Giants have a defensive lineman in at fullback, number 99, Robert Thomas. And with Thomas leading the way, Darkwa is in for a Giants touchdown.
I said, Kenny, great drive there. 11 plays. You know, the length of the field, 74 yards for a touchdown. And is the way that they started this game, to see that, got to be encouraged. Watch the big boy, 99, right in the middle of your screen, just blowing up the hole. Easy walk in for Orleans Darkwa for the equalizing touchdown for New York.
First touchdown for the Giants offense in 26 possessions. Number 26 with his 3rd touchdown of the season. Aldrick Rosas adds the extra point. So the Giants, after going out 3 and out of their first 3 possessions, have tied the game at 7. When you combine the most provocative man in sports with the most interesting man in sports, you get opinion that cuts through the hype. Catch Speak for Yourself with Jason Whitlock and Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, 5 Eastern, only on FS1. Geno Smith leads the Giants to a first quarter touchdown. He's 6 of 10 for 63 yards. Big completion on that drive to the tight end, Evan Ingram.
Came into it knowing that Evan Ingram was going to have to be the focus, but I think most importantly out of that drive is just the ability to get out of the pocket and scramble and make plays with his feet. And Ben McAdoo told us that the one thing that he's going to give us is that ability to extend plays. They know they're not very good up front on the offensive line. They struggled all year. Eli wasn't able to escape some of those things, but saw the spark that Geno could provide in that area on that drive.
This is Richard as the Giants kicked it short to keep it away from Cordell Patterson, who's one of the best in the league on kickoff returns. So 1 quarter in the books here in Oakland, America's Game of the Week. We are tied at 7. First quarter numbers in a 7-7 game. Marshawn Lynch back out on the field for the Raiders. He missed their last 2 possessions following his 51-yard touchdown run. 3 tight ends on the field for Oakland. A handoff to Lynch. And he's out to the 37-yard line for a gain of 4.
Well, the big reason why you'll see some different personnel out here is because of this. Aqib Talib, Michael Crabtree. With these, can we call this a scuffle? This is a full-out brawl. Suspended for 2 games, reduced to 1. But in his stead, also with Amari Cooper out, you're going to see Cordero Patterson play a lot more wide receiver. Johnny Holton will get some looks, and they're going to have to run some more specific type routes for these guys. They don't have the same route tree knowledge that those 2 guys did.
Second down and 6. Carr on the slant, complete for a first down. There is a flag. Catch made by the tight end, Jared Cook. And Cook remains down.
I think that's going to be illegal hands to the face, and Calvin Munson comes in with that low tackle on Jared Cook, and he's still on the ground.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, number 25 defense. Penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Jared Cook heading to the Raiders sidelines. He's now their leading receiver. He was tied coming into the game with Crabtree and Cooper.
That's just a vicious hit. You see his head hit the ground there too, so not sure what is going on with Jared Cook, but he is walking off under his own power.
That was Brandon Dixon who made the hit and was flagged. One of the 3 new Giants active on the defensive side today. So a first and 10 for the Raiders from their 44-yard line. Again, it's Lynch. Dalvin Tomlinson the tackle as we head to Los Angeles for another game break. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. We head to Arizona. Rams up 9-0 in the first quarter when Blaine Gabbert is picked off by Alec Ogletree, who takes it 41 yards for the touchdown. Rams up in this one 16-0. Kenny, Rondé, and Christina.
All right, thanks very much, Carissa. Jared Cook has gone into the tent for further evaluation.
And you can go in that tent not only for head injuries, but you can go in and look at other aspects too. So we won't speculate on what's going on with Jared Cook at the moment.
Second down and 8. And as Carr steps up and throws, catch is made by Seth Roberts. And he's tackled at the 44-yard line, 2 yards shy of a first down.
Well, Seth Roberts is the one receiver that's the known. He's the slot guy normally with Crabtree and Cooper in there, and they told us his role won't change. What he has done for this team has been very consistent. You know that Derek Carr has a rapport with them, so expect a lot of underneath type throws to him all day long.
25th reception of the season for Roberts. Third down and 2. Lynch Tomlinson, the rookie out of Alabama, along with Snacks Harrison.
Dalvin Tomlinson's had a great rookie year. His numbers may not be what you might expect from a first-round pick, but he is a big boy, and he can move bodies and does a great job here, staying in the fight, bending the knee on that double team, splitting it, and then getting on that tackle with Snacks Harrison and stopping them on third and short. And the Raiders' offense is going to stay on the field here, Kenny.
They send in some big bodies. Fullback, extra blocker Alexander. Second tight end in Smith. Lynch. He is stopped. Great effort by the Giants front. Once again, led by Tomlinson and B.J. Goodson. Terrific effort by Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Giants will take over on downs. Not the start Ben McAdoo had in mind. Giants allowed the 51-yard touchdown run. They went 3 and out in their first 3 possessions, but a long touchdown drive and then a big stop on 4th down.
Showing a lot of heart on defense there, right, Kenny? 3 straight stops in this Raiders offense.
This is Paul Perkins, his first carry. And Perkins gains 4 out to midfield.
Perkins has been relegated to special teams duty for most of the last month. Orleans Darkwa and Gallman get most of the carries. There's been McAdoo, and you've been your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback. And I think it sends a message to everybody. If Eli Manning is untouchable, nobody is untouchable. On these last couple of drives, you're seeing some more heart out of this Giants football team.
Second down and 6. Smith throws wide open for a first down to the Raiders' 33-yard line is Evan Engram.
Nice job by Geno Smith here. He's got a lot to prove, right? The mechanics here are awesome. Climbing the pocket away from Khalil Mack and Evan Engram finding a hole in the defense, and that little bit of time that Geno bought stepping up gets him behind the second level of that defense. Another big completion for the Giants tight end.
16-yard pass play. Giants now sending 3 tight ends. Perkins in the backfield on 1st and 10 from the Raiders' 34. As Perkins takes it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line, gain of 5. Justin Ellis made the tackle.
Well, good balance on this offense so far today, Kenny. 12 rushes, 11 passes. After that 3 and out start, they're starting to have a little bit of success running the football. Geno Smith doing some good things throwing the football. They're getting to that scoring area again.
You had a look at offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan. There's an issue with the play clock. And now a flag is thrown.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Looked like Giants wanted the clock pumped back up, but they're whistled for delay of game.
Well, they weren't going to take another timeout there. They've already spent 2 of them early in this football game, and Geno Smith's a veteran guy, and if the clock was wrong, he still needs to be aware that it was ticking down.
Push back 5 yards. Second down and 10. Smith to the outside. First catch today for Tavares King. 13th reception of the season. So a 3rd down and 5 coming up for Geno Smith and the Giants. Completed 7 of his last 8 after the slow start. His first start since last October as a member of the New York Jets. Marine in the backfield, 3rd down and 5. Giants must get to the 24 for a first down. Smith is hit, ball comes loose. Raiders recover. Varro Bowman on the recovery.
Well, John Pagano is the defensive coordinator now. Ken Norton being let go. They bring a lot of pressure on Geno Smith. Can't hold it that long. Turnover for the Raiders defense. You know, I like good blitz design. This is just force strong, and watch what they do to Eric Flowers. They give him a bunch of options, a conundrum. He's got to pick Career, he's got to pick Bruce Irvin. He takes the immediate one to his quarterback and lets Bruce Irvin go straight for the sack fumble takeaway for the Raiders defense.
Bruce Irvin, Geno Smith's teammate in West
False
Virginia.
start. Number 30, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Ball start, Jalen Richard, who is in for Marshawn Lynch. Lynch injured on his touchdown run, came back into the game. There he is on the sideline.
Well, you said it during the break. Marshawn Lynch, you expect him to be able to get 1 yard on 2 successive carries. They weren't able to do it. Derek Carr hadn't thrown the ball much today, only 5 attempts already. It's been much of a running game.
First and 15 following the penalty. And the catch is made out at the 45-yard line for a first down by Seth Roberts.
Well, just a little 3 deep here, right? You got a guy running through the seam. It's the weakness of this coverage. Great recognition by Derek Carr. He finds wide open receiver, makes a good delivery.
There's Jared Cook back in the game. Took that hit earlier. Helmet hit the turf. Empty backfield for the Raiders. Richard split wide to the left. And Carr gets it to him. And then the ball comes loose. Picked up by Landon Collins. But was Richard ruled down? Or was it ruled an incomplete pass?
I think this is going to be an incomplete pass, Kenny. Watch it in full speed. I don't think
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Thanks, Pete. I don't think he meets the time requirement. He's got to survive the ground for a completion. Good call by those officials.
And
Please set the game clock.
Jared Cook down to Christina.
Hey, Kenny, well, yes, Cook back in the game after coming off on that last drive. When he was in the blue tent, he was looked at by the independent neurotrauma consultant, indication that he was evaluated for a head injury. They also checked a replay of the hit, but he's been cleared to go back in, guys.
All right, thanks, Christina. Second down and 10. Richard down at the 49-yard line. Landon Collins tackle a gain of 4.
Well, other than the explosive run to start this football game, this Giants defense, Kenny, has been really good keeping this running game in check here. And what that does, obviously, is put them in a situation on defense where they have 3rd and long. Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for Giants, can dial up whatever he wants in these situations. Let's see what he comes after Derek Carr with here.
We're down at 6. Raiders must get to the Giants 45 for a first down. Carr throws, and he finds his man, Cordero Patterson, and he picks up the first down to the Giants 40, gain of 11.
Well, Derek Carr is no dummy. He knows that Brandon Dixon's not played a lot of football. Cordero Patterson doesn't have a lot to his route tree, but he can run this. He's big, he's strong, he can catch the football when it's hitting him right into the gut. Nice conversion for a first down there by the Raiders.
And Rondé Marshawn Lynch has returned to the field for Oakland. First and 10 from the Giants 39. Just under 7 minutes remaining, second quarter in a 7-7 game. Now Carr fires downfield. Johnny Holton, the intended receiver. Ross Cockrell defending.
A little double move, really. Derek Carr, a little pump the other way, trying to get the safeties to move, but just a good release. His ball's a little bit outside, floats him out of bounds, and he's not able to make that catch. Actually, pretty good recovery by Ross Cockrell. He was losing that fight at the line of scrimmage.
So it is now second and 10. Lynch set up to the right of Carr. 3 wide receiver set. This is Lynch. And again, not much.
They're just trying to run gap schemes here on the inside, and the Giants' penetration is killing it. Marshawn Lynch is a better dot runner to me. He's not much of a side saddle runner because he likes to go downhill. When you get him moving sideways, you're allowing that defense to chase and pursue, and he's not going to run away from him. If you're getting a good push up front, those guys on the defensive line, the Giants are winning. Marshawn Lynch has nowhere to go, setting up a 3rd and 10 now. This Raiders offense.
Lynch with only 6 yards on 4 carries since his long touchdown run. Now Carr throws. Just shy of the first down marker. Clive Walford.
I love how cool and calm Derek Carr is in the pocket. Knows exactly what he wants to do with this football. No stress. Receiver gets just enough separation, puts it right in his chest. And it looks like they're going to go for this again. They were just short on that 3rd down. They're lined up to go for it again.
And similar to the last attempt, they send in big bodies. An extra blocker, a fullback. Nail! Mulaney! Was it on? On 4th and 1 again, it is Lynch, and this time he will pick up the first down for the Giants' 20-yard line.
Oh, that was a good power run there. Put a fullback in front of Marshawn Lynch. Little reverse pivot, and this is straight downhill. Good block by Gabe Jackson there, number 66. You see him clearing the way. That's what it looks like when you got a big running back and you need to pick up 1 yard. Well executed up front by the Raiders.
Hey, we're good, Johnny. Nail!
I think they're good, Kenny.
Derek Carr says we're good. Off the fake to Holton. Carr throws. It's Lynch, but he runs into a maze of bodies and will lose yardage on the play.
Well read by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. All he's got to do is stay home and beat 1 block. He's out here. This long developing play action screen. You see the blockers out front. He's got to get by Gabe Jackson and runs right into Marshawn Lynch. Good rallying defense too by the other white shirts coming to clean up the party, because you know one guy, he's not going to get Marshawn on the ground.
Loss of a yard on the play. Lynch out, DeAndre Washington back in. 2nd down and 11. As Carr throws, it's nearly intercepted. Landon Collins thought he had it.
I thought he had it. I think everybody in here thought that he had it. And Landon Collins will be kicking himself. Red zone interceptions are killer. You see Cook runs the double move. He doesn't fall for it at all. Actually, that little tug on him right at the end. But look at the pocket collapse here. Good rush up front by Snacks. Olivier Vernon getting in the backfield, forced an early throw, and God, the Giants needed that one.
That never happened to you, did it?
Oh, never. Except for maybe a lot.
Now 3rd down and 11. As Carr steps up, throws underneath, and the pass was short. Intended for Richard, so the Raiders send out the field goal unit.
That's why DBs aren't receivers, Kenny. And Carr's thinking right now, look, he's got, after this completion or after this throw, he thinks he gets a hand to the face, and now he's lobbying. He's not winning that argument.
So here's Tavecchio. This will be a 39-yard attempt from the right hash. Marquette King will place it down. And the kick is good. So the Raiders back on top after they convert on 4th down, lead the Giants. Var Bowman, number 53, started the season with the 49ers, his 6th game with the Raiders, and he knows how important this one is.
Oh, absolutely, Kenny. I mean, it's the NFL. Every game means something. You have to respect everybody. He actually told us that Jack Del Rio started the week with saying you have to respect every opponent, regardless of what their record is. 2-9 doesn't matter. They got to play for some pride. These guys are playing for some pride. The Oakland Raiders trying to push their way in the playoffs, and this is a big, big football game, regardless of the records on either side.
Chiefs lost to the Jets earlier today, so the Raiders with an opportunity to pull into a tie for first place. How wacky has the AFC West been this year?
Well, we all got together week 1 and watched that Thursday night game in Kansas City and thought this was the team to beat this year, and they've lost now 4 in a row. Chargers are playing Cleveland. They only got a 2-point lead in that football game, so yeah, I mean, the horse race is on right now, and the winner is yet to be determined. We'll get to it later in the game, but the Raiders, they have a tough road down the stretch. So this win is vitally important.
Giants start from the 25-yard line. Play action on first down. Smith rolling right. Mack chasing him. And the pass is caught at the 35-yard line by Roger Lewis Jr. as we head to Los Angeles. Game break. Carissa.
Rondé, you just mentioned that the Chargers were up by 2. Let me show you how it happened. Deshaun Kaiser and David Njoku connect for this 28-yard score. The Chargers would add a field goal, so at halftime they are up 9-7. Kenny?
All right, Carissa, Raider fans keeping an eye on that one as well. Lewis gained 9. Now 2nd and 1 for the Giants. Darkwa could not find a lane, and he's brought down by the rookie out of Toledo, Trayvon Hester.
Well, you get a running back to stop his feet. I want you to watch NaVorro Bowman. He's going to flash at the edge of the offense right here, and then everybody else can just rally to the football. NaVorro Bowman is an impact player, and the 49ers thought he was done, thought he was surplus really to their plans going forward. But he has been a man, leads them in tackles ever since he has been here, catalyzing this defense.
3-time Pro Bowler with the 49ers. Now 3rd down and 5. Giants must get to the 35 for a first down. Smith to the outside, and it's incomplete. It is ruled that King did not come down in bounds, so the Giants go 3 and out. They will punt it away.
Good route, but this is a long throw for Geno Smith, and kind of sails on him here towards the end, and King's just not able to contort himself to get in bounds and make that catch. It was close, though. His knee kind of looked like it may have been down in bounds, but they're not going to bother challenging that call.
Link punting for the 4th time. Bounces away from Richard. And Raymond downs it at the 1 as he kept his feet off the goal line. 69 yards on the punt and roll. So the Raiders pin deep as we hit the 2-minute warning in Oakland. Great job by the Giants. Khalif Raymond, who started the season with the Jets, keeping his feet off the goal line and out of the end zone.
That's not easy to do. That's a fantastic play by Khalif Raymond.
So the Raiders start from their 1-yard line. Here's Marshawn Lynch. Gives Oakland some breathing room as he takes it out to the 7. Gain of 6 for Lynch.
All you want, Kenny, when you're down on your shadow of your goal line is to give yourself some breathing room, and Marshawn Lynch is just a bull running through there. Gets stacked up with some Giants, some Raiders, doesn't matter, he just pushes through and picks up 5 yards. Nice positive run.
Remember, the Raiders deferred after they won the toss, so Oakland will get the ball first in the second half. Giants have only 1 timeout. 2nd down and 4. And Seth Roberts picks up a Raiders first down. And now Oakland will use a timeout with 1:05 remaining in the first half. What's coming up at halftime, Kurt?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, the playoff picture's getting a little easier to see as the Chiefs lose to the Jets. The Falcons' hopes dim as they fall to the Vikings, while the Packers keep their playoff dreams alive with a win against the Bucs. Don't lose focus. The Visa Halftime is next.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. Some strong comments from the gang on the pregame show regarding Giants, the Eli Manning situation, head coach Ben McAdoo.
I think the commentary has been universal. Is maybe 1 or 2 dissenting opinions about Eli Manning and his demotion, I guess best way to say it, to backup quarterback here. But look, you're in a 2-9 season, you're going nowhere. I don't know that I agree with it, but you got to get a look at some of these players of this team, and Geno Smith is doing all right so far today.
Carr's pass incomplete, bounces away from Jared Cook. Michael Strahan said on our pregame show, most classless thing I've seen from the Giants organization.
Strong words from Strahan.
Howie Long said, Eli running scout team is beyond my comprehension.
Look, it's a brave decision by a head coach that's on the hot seat. Jerry Reese, the general manager, they all have to be feeling the pressure of this decision.
Now 2nd down and 10 for Derek Carr and the Raiders. Incomplete. Nice play by Brandon Dixon, knocking it away from Johnny Holton.
And Brandon Dixon just staying in the fight here. Good play at the line of scrimmage. Win with your feet, then your hands, and then just fight for the football. This is a well-delivered ball, hits Holton right in the hands, but good things happen when you don't give up on a play. Nice job, Brandon Dixon.
Brandon Dixon, drafted by the Jets back in 2014, spent some time with the Tampa Bay Bucks. And now 3rd down and 10 with 56 seconds on the clock. Now the Raiders will punt it away as Clive Walford is tackled about 4 yards shy of the marker. Giants use their final timeout back in 30 seconds after this message from Outback. Marquette King will punt it away. Khalif Raymond back deep for the Giants. It was his terrific play moments ago on special teams which pinned the Raiders at their 1-yard line and led to this punt. Giants are out of timeouts. And the punt nearly blocked. King is taken down. Shane Smith broke through for the Giants.
That wasn't nearly blocked. It was rushed. Didn't even get a chance to get this thing off.
King never kicked it.
What a special teams play. Look at all these guys in the middle of the box. They just overwhelmed the Raiders special teams. Got to make a decision. Olawale there, the personal protector, steps up, makes the wrong one, and King, you know, if he tries to punt that, it's probably a touchdown for the Giants because it'd be out of his hands. You got 5 bodies in the box, and what a great scenario for the New York Giants here to get some points on the board right before the half.
Shane Smith, the rookie out of San Jose State, breaking through on special teams. So now the Giants with 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. No timeouts, 46 seconds remaining. They empty the backfield. Gallman split wide to the left. Here we go. And now penalty markers prior to the snap.
Defense, neutral zone infraction, number 52. Half a distance to the goal, 1st down.
Khalil Mack.
That's encroachment. And then again, Chad Wheeler moves because of it. He's arguing that he got back in and out of the neutral zone before he moved, but the flag was already thrown.
Mack, the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year. The 1st and goal from the 4 following the penalty. Empty backfield for the Giants. As Smith throws, and that one was over the head of Sterling Shepard. Sean Smith defending.
Sean Smith is a big, long corner here, and they had some trouble getting lined up. You see the matchup. He beats Sterling Shepard to the spot. No chance for Shepard to get on the end of that completion, attempted completion.
So now 2nd and goal for the Giants. Shane Vereen in the backfield. Here we go. From the Raiders' 4-yard line. Smith hit. Down he goes. Khalil Mack. Raiders recover.
Chad Wheeler just cannot stand up. How about you get Ryan Kerrigan last week, get abused, then you get Khalil Mack, you're getting abused again. Again, soft edge. Geno Smith having to hold on to the football, and that is a nice takeaway. I love defenders that are ball aware. One the ball's coming when he's sacking the quarterback, and that is a fumble. You could make the argument that maybe Geno's rear end was on the ground, but that ball's in Khalil Mack's stomach before that.
How about his left knee?
That's close. They'll obviously review it because all takeaways are reviewed. But what a play.
Pete Morelli waiting for the confirmation. As you mentioned, Rodney, all turnovers are reviewed.
Well, this Raiders defense is getting hot rushing the passer here late in the season. It's what you need. You want to be playing your best football.
The previous play.
You want to be playing your best football in December. Jack Del Rio said that. NaVorro Bowman told us that. And in terms of getting after the quarterback, that ball is out right away. Yep. That is a takeaway, and a great takeaway by Khalil Mack. Comes into this game with only 6.5 sacks. You may believe that he's having a down year, but he is having a field day today against this Giants offensive line.
I agree, it was out. So Khalil Mack with the sack, forced fumble, and the recovery will bring in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles. Dean, do you agree that the ball was out?
Yeah, I couldn't tell until that last look, but what a great reverse angle, and you can see Mack is going to strip the ball from Geno Smith before Smith is down, pull it free, get the strip sack, possession, and it looks like a great call of a fumble that'll be upheld here in replay.
All right, thanks very much, Dean.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The fumble and recovery, first down Oakland.
So it's the second turnover committed by Geno Smith. First on the Bruce Irvin sack, and now it's Khalil Mack.
Well, that's 7 sacks in 2 games, and that's impressive work. I mean, you got these dynamic edge rushers, Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin, and you just want them to be able to tee off.
Raiders only had 7 takeaways all season coming into this game. Their first interception came last week. It came number 11. Carr throws. It's Olawale, the fullback. And he's out across the 15-yard line. Gain of 5.
It goes back to the problems, if we can revisit that real quick, they've had on the offensive line. They continue to put these tackles in one-on-one situations they just can't hold up. So part of that blame's got to be on the design of the offense there.
Under 10 seconds remaining as the Raiders let the clock wind down. Oakland will get the ball first. In the second half, it's Olawale again. And time winds down. So the Raiders with a 10-7 lead. Let's take a look at some fun from Week 12. Sounds from the Field brought to you by Walmart.com, offering free 2-day shipping.
Back in the Coliseum.
Hey, we're riding with you guys. Let's do what we do in practice. Give me a woo if you're with me.
Halftime in Oakland. Raiders lead the Giants 10-7 to Los Angeles for the Visa Halftime Report. Marshawn Lynch will go all the way 50 yards for a Raiders touchdown. Darkwa is in for a Giants touchdown. And the punt nearly blocked. King is taken down. Smith hit. Down he goes. Khalil Mack. Back in Oakland, Geno Smith making his first start as a Giant. Raiders have a 10-7 lead as we get set for the second half. Kenny Albert along with Rondé Barber. Smith with 2 second-quarter turnovers. How would you assess his play?
Well, you can't turn the ball over in the red zone. I mean, they're going to rue that missed opportunity, obviously. You get the play on special teams. You have a chance to tie the football game at the very least with a field goal. Then you get this sack fumble. I mean, as much as we want to make this about the football game that's going on for the New York Giants, the real story is Geno Smith starting at quarterback, Eli Manning essentially getting 5 games taken off his career here at the Giants if he's not going to be starting any more games here for this organization. And what does it look like? What does it look like? What's Geno done well? Is his team playing hard? There's a lot of questions that are going to be answered outside the football game about how this team plays here and through the last 4 games of the season.
Another short kickoff taken out to the 33 by Washington. Christina.
Hey, Kenny, well, I have one answer for you. I did ask Ben McAdoo what he thought of Geno Smith under center. He said he looked good running the show, but he said he can't have those missed opportunities, obviously, with a couple of fumbles. But 9 of 15 in the game defensively, he said we have to keep knocking the ball back, keep being physical. Now, the Raiders need to jumpstart their offense. Jack Del Rio told me he came into this game with a clear message. Protect the ball, protect the quarterback, and produce. And they have to do that here in the second half.
All right, thanks, Christina. So the Raiders will start from their 33-yard line. Marshawn Lynch with a 51-yard touchdown run on the Raiders' third play from scrimmage to give Oakland the 7-0 lead. Here's Carr rolling right. He throws. Pass intended for Johnny Holton.
Well, this offense is going to look a little bit different without those two main receivers. Johnny Holton running this route here is good. Comes out of his break and close, but definitely an incomplete pass. And Derek Carr's got to find a way to get on track with these guys. I mean, for the duration of this game, Johnny Holt, Cordell Patterson, they have to find ways to pick up the slack from those guys that aren't available today.
Second 10, it's Lynch. And the guys you're talking about, Rondé, are Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree. 5 receptions by Raiders wideouts in the first half. Carr is 10 of 19, 51 of the 82 yards for Lynch coming on one play. And Roberts leading the way with 3 receptions. 3rd down and 8.
Incompletion on first down. You get a stretch run that goes nowhere on second down, and the Giants are right back in that situation where they can get after the quarterback here, but they're going to have to stand up in man coverage on the outside.
Raiders must get to the 43 for a first down. Carr moving to his right, and now he throws, and that's off the hands of the tight end Jared Cook, so the Raiders will punt it away.
Giants have great coverage here. Holton's trying to run a little in route. Cordell Patterson with the pivot, but nowhere for Derek Carr to go, and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie does a great job on Cook here. Even if we had caught this pass, it would have been short of the line of gain. So good job by that Giants defense, winning it man-to-man when they had to.
Aside from that 51-yard run by Lynch, the Giants defense has played very well.
Absolutely agree with you, Kenny. If there's one part of this team that's galvanized today, playing on the road in a game that really means nothing for them other than evaluation purposes, they are doing a great job.
And the special teams as well. Play made by Sean Smith, by Khalif Raymond earlier. This is Raymond on the return, and he'll be brought down at the 15-yard line. Eli Manning, 210 consecutive regular season starts, 2 Super Bowl titles, 2-time Super Bowl most valuable player. Not starting today for the first time since November 14th, 2004. Up and down first half for Geno Smith. Smith and the Giants start from the 15-yard line. Darkwa, who has the Giants touchdown out to the 19.
And it's been somewhat of a mixed bag for Geno. We've seen the structure of the offense change, right? More movement out of the pocket, take advantage of his arm on the run, but here's where he struggled. Seeing the completions, but he struggled making decisions, getting rid of the football. That sack by Irving, this sack by Khalil Mack, both takeaways for the Raiders defense. And he's got to be able to make quicker decisions, Kenny. I know it's been a rule on him his entire career that he doesn't make the right ones, but he's got another half to show what he has here in a game against a team that's really fighting to get to the playoffs.
2nd down and 5. Smith over the middle, and it's Sterling Shepard close to a first down. For Geno Smith in the first half, Giants went 3 and out their first 3 possessions, then a long scoring drive, 11 plays, 74 yards, then the 2 sacks you talked about. Smith turned it over on 2 of the last 3 possessions, now facing a 3rd down and 1. Darkwa in the backfield. On 3rd down and 1, it's Darkwa, and he will pick up a first down out to the 28-yard line. We spoke to Ben McAdoo last night for about 25 minutes, and he said it was important to look at the other quarterbacks. He said, I thought we laid out a pretty good plan. It didn't work out that way, referring to the fact that Manning did have the opportunity to start the game.
I think the way that it was presented put Manning, Eli in a position where he had to do what he did.
There's Darkwa, and we'll continue after we head back to Los Angeles for a game break with Carissa.
Banks getting first drive of the second half. Phillip Rivers connects with Keenan Allen for a 7-yard touchdown. You guys were just talking about Eli Manning. Well, guess what? For Phillip Rivers, that's his 335th career touchdown pass, passing Eli Manning, now 7th most all-time. Kenny?
Thanks, Carissa. Phillip Rivers, of course, drafted by the Giants, Manning by the Chargers, traded for each other on draft day. Chargers and Raiders both 5 and 6. Chiefs lost earlier today to the Jets. Second down and 9, empty backfield. Smith, quick release on second down. And the catch is made by Tavares King. And he picks up a Giants first down.
Well, that was a good delivery. Good execution there on the route quarterback, and Khalil Mack again working on Chad Wheeler. Good thing he gets the ball out of his hands, because it looked like he would have been beat again there as well. But Geno Smith has a strong arm. When you talk to the coaches, you talk to people around the league, he has that asset to him. He could throw a hard football, get the RPMs up. That was a nice completion.
Now first and 10 from the 38-yard line. Smith sets up the screen. It's Darkwa. And he will lose a yard on the play. Bruce Irvin, the tackle.
Just keep going back to this matchup, because I think it's going to play dividends at the end of the game. Khalil Mack, Chad Wheeler holds his own. Right, this is a screen. Obviously, the offensive linemen are just trying to buy the quarterback a little bit of a time to get it out to Darkwa, but again, that Raiders defense flying around makes that play for a lost yardage game.
Second down and 11 for Reed, replaces Darkwa. Once again, it's Tavares King who makes the catch out at the 42-yard line, setting up third down and 6 for the Giants.
Again, Raiders dial up pressure. It's going to be 4 weak from the other side here, and Geno Smith's got to make a quick decision, and he does. He knows he has the matchup outside, corners and off coverage. Delivers to Tavares King and gets him into a much more manageable third down situation here. 3rd and 7. See what Geno Smith and this offense can pull out here and see if they can keep this drive going.
Giants must get to the 48 for a first down. Smith pointing out 53, Navarro Bowman. Smith steps up and throws. Shepard, the intended receiver. TJ Carey defending. Giants will punt.
TJ Carey does a lot for this defense, and he starts outside. He's coming inside with some of the injuries, and this was the premier matchup. This one right here, inside. Sterling Shepard back into the fold. Knew TJ Carey was going to have to hold his own, and that is fantastic coverage. Winning at the line of scrimmage, no room for Shepard to move, and then doesn't interfere with his ability to catch it. Nice pass breakup for the Raiders.
Brad Wing punting from his 32-yard line. Fair catch called for by Richard at the 12. So the Raiders defense holds Oakland with a 3-point lead. The My Cause, My Cleats initiative. Players can showcase causes that are important to them this weekend.
A lot of creative cleats out there. Some fun ones. Some good ones.
What are you wearing, Brandon?
Tom's. Does it pay for that?
Here's Marshawn Lynch on first down. Gain of 3. Out to the 16-yard line. 60 yards for Lynch on the opening possession, including the 51-yard touchdown. Only 25 yards since.
And we never got any clarity if he had an injury on that run or not. We saw him getting worked on after that, but just credit the defensive line of the Giants. Doing a good job bottling him up. And this is an offensive line that's really trying to adjust to Todd Downing's system too. They went to more zone run to help Marshawn Lynch, but their size, they're more better gap team.
Second down and 7. Catch made out at the 43-yard line by the tight end, Clive Walford.
How about this throw by Derek Carr? Love tight ends that can split the seam, but you got to have quarterbacks that can put it on them. And this is a fantastic throw over the linebacker, B.J. Goodson, in front of the safety, Landon Collins. And I got to tell you, he throws it with such ease and precision. That was beautiful.
That's the biggest pass play today for the Raiders. Gain of 26. Richard in the backfield, extra blocker. Play action. Carr with loads of time. And now he throws. Oh, and it's nearly picked off. This time it's Brandon Dixon who could not hang on. Landon Collins earlier, and now Dixon.
Well, that was ill-advised. I don't know what Derek Carr was doing here. He was looking for Cook first on a little hide play. Watch Cook. He's just going to try to sneak out, but he's covered. And then he tries to just sling it up, and Brandon Dixon, I mean, it does not get any easier than that. I mean, that's easier than the one Landon Collins had. Really kind of a good job by Cook there at the end, knocking it out of his hands off the ricochet.
Remember, it was Dixon who made that hit on Cook earlier when Cook was forced to leave the game, and now Cook makes the play, knocking the potential interception away from Dixon. Now Carr steps up, throws it. Walford again into Giants territory for a Raiders first down. Gain of 16.
I tell you what, Derek Carr doesn't feel any pressure. He's so calm. Watch this. We got an injured Raider here. I think it's Donald Penn who's on the ground, the left tackle. Derek Carr stepping up in the pocket, just buying time, finding Clive Walford for that big completion. And I have to take a look and see here what happened to Donald Penn. He was...
Donald Penn, who has started 168 consecutive games, former teammate of yours in Tampa.
And he got off to a slow start when he came back from that holdout. It really told me that it was only a couple games before he felt right. We have to keep an eye on him.
Penn, the injured Raider, 168 consecutive starts. That's the most among active offensive linemen in the entire league, replaced by the rookie out of Florida, 4th-round draft pick David Sharp, who has seen action in only one game this season. First and 10, 41-yard line with 3 tight ends. The handoff goes to Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch gains 4 down to the Giants 37. Dalvin Tomlinson to stop. Raiders started the season 2-0. They lost their next 4. They've gone 3-2 since. They know the Chiefs have already lost today. Chargers lead the Browns 19-7. Wins by the Raiders and the Chargers. You would have a 3-way tie atop the AFC West at 6-6.
And a fight to the finish, right?
Second down and 6. As Carr goes over the top, and it's dropped by Lynch.
Well, good coverage again on the back end by the Giants, just looking for the check down, and that's not Marshawn Lynch's forte, pass catching, although I know he's got probably more receptions this year than he ever had before. But
10 coming into the game.
don't get any easier than that.
So the Raiders now face a 3rd down and 6 from the Giants' 38-yard line. Raiders must get to the 31 for a first down. Carr being chased, and then he throws it away. Under pressure from Olivier Vernon.
Let's take a look at this young kid, David Sharp. Left tackle 71, working on Olivier Vernon. Tough matchup. Olivier's got great speed, quickness on the ground, and he's a big man, Sharp. Definitely not as mobile as Donald Penn, but again, good job by this Giants defense. They had great coverage on the back end. Derek Carr gets out of the pocket, nowhere to deliver the football. And to your point, Kenny, that you made earlier, one thing that's showing up today in this football game is this Giants defense.
We'll sure have. King moves it downfield. And it's covered up inside the 5-yard line. First touch by Oakland, so it didn't matter what happened after that. It's an illegal touch. Even if the Giants lost control, it's New York football.
And we've had this situation many times here the past couple of weeks. As soon as the Raiders touch this football, does not matter what happens. The Giants are going to have the choice to take it, even if they recover it, which they did anyway.
Right. Once it hit the Raider, Giants football, no matter what happened after that. But the Giants are bit deep at their 4-yard line, trailing by 3.
Direct runs down here. You got to get out of this situation, backed up situation, turn around and hand the ball right off.
Instead, Smith looking to throw. And there is a flag. Sean Smith broke it up, intended for Tavares King.
Good coverage really by Sean Smith to begin with, and then he just kind of panics at the end with that grab right there.
Pass interference. Number 21, defense, automatic, first down.
That's Smith.
Your backed up situation, you know you're in man-to-man, corners line up on the line of scrimmage. I like taking the shot there. You know, most coordinators go back there, turn around, hand the ball off, make sure you get a positive play on first down, but they take a shot with the man-to-man coverage, get the benefit of the penalty. Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants, trying to dial up plays somewhat differently than with Eli, but Geno Smith still having a decent day executing here at Oakland.
17 yards on the penalty, and Smith hands it off to Gallman. Wayne Gallman gains 4, out to the 25. Geno Smith with the 2 turnovers late in the second quarter. He's the first quarterback to ever start for both the New York Jets and the Giants. There was one other who played for both organizations, Grosscup, back in the late 50s, early 60s, but did not start.
You got to imagine Geno, free agent in the offseason, could have signed anywhere, but they've been trying to stick it to the New York media and say, I can make it anywhere. I can come back here to New York and do it as well.
Try with the Giants, second down and 6. Evan Engram makes the catch, brought down at the 28-yard line, setting up third down and 3.
Well, regardless of the situation where he gets this opportunity, he's having an opportunity. We talked about it in the open. He has had a tough go of it ever since he tore his ACL. The New York Giants, he kind of fell out of favor there, went on the street. He hasn't had the Jets hasn't had the opportunity to play, and now he's getting it. So, many perspective, no matter how you look at it, what happened to Eli, you have to appreciate him getting another chance to start a quarterback in the NFL.
Third down and 3. Play clock was at 1. Giants get the snap away. And Tavares King unable to make the catch with Dexter McDonald defending.
Yeah, Dexter McDonald. Great coverage out here. Love bump man corners, these big tall corners in Oakland. Good at the line of scrimmage. Again, I mentioned it early. If you win it with your feet at the line of scrimmage, then you can place your hands. You have the receiver under control, and it's just great placement. Played through his hands, knocked the ball away. Good job.
Wing punting for the 6th time. Fair catch is called for at the 39-yard line by Richard. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the third in Oakland. I hope you did not have any of these guys on your fantasy team, Rondé.
I don't play fantasy football, Kenny, but if I did, I would definitely have Amari Cooper and Odell Beckham. No availability of either of those guys today. Those passing numbers are not very good.
Under 125 for both quarterbacks as Carr goes down back at the 34-yard line.
Well, this pocket just ends up collapsing. You see Calvin Munson there. He's covering Marshawn Lynch. And when Marshawn Lynch doesn't go out into the route, he just inserts into the blitz. And this is the coverage on the back end. Brandon Dixon again, help over the top. It's tight end Jared Cook working on Ross Cockrell. Derek Carr can do nothing but eat that sack.
Second of the season for Munson, the rookie out of San Diego State. Empty backfield for the Raiders. Second down and 15. Quick release by Carr. And the fullback, Wally, takes it out to the 43-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play.
This is just good job by Derek Carr reading the intentions of this Giants defense. They're going to bring pressure, and you just have to make a quick decision. Communications, the ability to get out of a bad play and find a good one is the reason they get themselves into a 3rd and 6 situation here.
Raiders have converted only one of their last 9 third down opportunities. Raiders must get to the 49-yard line for a first down. As Carr throws, and the catch is made at midfield, Seth Roberts. So the Raiders pick up the first.
Steve Spagnuolo continues to put his corners in one-on-one situations. Watch this route combination, using the natural pick of Clive Walford to get his receiver Seth Roberts open. Derek Carr makes a quick decision, delivers it right on time. First down, Raiders.
4th reception for Roberts today. Raiders without Cooper and Crabtree. Roberts tied for the team lead with the tight end Walford, 4 apiece. There's Lynch. No, we asked Jack Del Rio about the Crabtree suspension. He missed most of last week's game, ejected early, and he said, it definitely hurt us. You must show emotional control. Don't put the team above yourself. He said, our guys must remember to do what's best for the team, and he reminded them of those points throughout this week.
You have to. I mean, it's a team that's fighting for the playoffs, right? And you're missing one of your most valuable pieces on offense because of the nonsense of that fight.
On 2nd and 7, Lynch takes it to the 44-yard line. So a 3rd down coming up for the Raiders. Jack Del Rio also had some interesting comments on a weekly show, which was actually up on the scoreboard about an hour prior to this game today. He was asked about the Giants quarterback situation, and he said, quote, Eli is a better quarterback. We are glad the Giants are choosing to do it.
That's interesting. Interesting that the head coach makes that comment. You just, people across the league all had the same decision. Tom Coughlin was asked, he's a personnel guy in Jacksonville, about it. He said the same thing essentially.
3rd and 4, and it's dropped by Johnny Holton. So the Raiders turn it over after the reception by Holton. And then he lost the handle, so the Giants will take over after the strip by Brandon Dixon.
I gotta tell you what, Brandon Dixon gets beat at the line of scrimmage. Great route by Johnny Holton. Stay in the fight, be ball aware, create a takeaway, and that's just good work by Brandon Dixon. You're never out of it, right? The play is not over till it's over. That's just good hustle. Again, another example, the urgency, Kenny, that this Giants defense is playing with today.
Think Dixon wants to earn a job for next season?
Absolutely, and when you're a 2-9 team, right, you're playing for nothing. The one thing you can do in a game like this is find out who's going to be on the roster for 2018, and Brandon Dixon is putting out some good tape right now.
He has been outstanding in his first game as a member of the Giants. He came up to you before the game on the field. He said, I'm a twin too. His twin brother, Ryan, a former Saint. And then he said, are you Rondé or Tiki? Which one are you?
That happens a lot when I'm around New York people.
But Dixon forces the turnover, so the Giants with a big opportunity here with time winding down to the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 7. Off the fake to Perkins. Smith in trouble on the pressure from Khalil Mack and threw it into the ground.
Well, this play's not going to work. I think we saw this in the first quarter as well. Just Khalil Mack staying at home. Right? He's not going for this play fake down the line. He's going to rush the passer, Geno Smith, again, out of the pocket. There's receiver there in proximity, so that's not intentional grounding no matter what these fans are booing for. But instead sets up a 3rd and 7 for this Giants offense. And look, we haven't mentioned Evan Ingram's name in a long time. To me, find your most dangerous weapon, young tight end, give him the ball, convert this 3rd down.
Smith on 3rd down and 7, and that is broken up by McDonald. He was looking for Roger Lewis Jr., so the Giants unable to capitalize following the Oakland turnover.
Tell you what, Kenny, this is my kind of game. Corners playing their butt off out here. Watch this read right here. Corners playing off coverage, being able to transition, one-step transition, put your foot in the ground, change direction, and get on the ball. That's an outstanding play, again, by the Raiders. Get off on third down. Dexter McDonald again.
Wing punting from his 20-yard line. Richard had trouble with it. And then falling on it at the 20-yard line was Keith McGill.
Well, I don't know if I'm Jack Del Rio, if I'm putting Richard back there again. That's at least the third ball that he's fumbled. They are lucky again to get to recovery.
Third quarter comes to an end here at Oakland. Huge quarter coming up for Derek Carr and the Raiders. An opportunity to pull into a tie for first place in the division with 4 games remaining.
Yeah, big drive, fourth quarter football. Derek Carr's got to show some of the leadership ability he's grown into this season here.
On first down, it is Patterson. Cordero Patterson out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 19.
Well, Cordero Patterson is one of those guys, like, doesn't have a lot on the route tree, but the one thing that he can do is this: get him the football, turn him into a returner. Donald Penn has a great block out front on Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie to spring him in. If you give him a specific role, which they've done today, small route tree, just get the ball in his hands, let his speed and athleticism take over his power. Nice gain there.
So Donald Penn, who was shaken up earlier in the third quarter, with some key blocks as Lynch gains 4, and we head to Los Angeles. Kurt.
Well, a little more successful on this run is Alvin Kamara, 20 yards on the score. His 9th touchdown in the last 6 games. He's got 2 today. Saints up by a pair of scores as they start the fourth quarter in that big matchup with Carolina. Kenny, Rondé, and Christina.
What a season for the Saints rookie back.
Unbelievable season for Alvin Kamara. He's been like this since the old beginning of the season. Remember, Adrian Peterson was there. He necessitated Adrian Peterson getting out of town with the way he's played. He's just continued to do so as the season's gone on.
Along with Mark Ingram, terrific combination. Second down and 5. On the slant, it's Roberts. Right there to make the tackle was Darian Thompson. However, Roberts does pick up a Raiders first down across midfield.
Talked about the importance of this drive, Kenny, and this is a team that's really showed some balance. You know, they showed a real commitment to the running game last week. 26 carries for Marshawn Lynch. He just went over 100 yards a little bit ago. But Todd Downing, I think right now, knows Derek Carr is our best asset. His arm, his decision-making is going to lead us to a victory here, and they're going to put it in his hands.
Derek Carr, his brother David, backed up Eli Manning for 4 seasons, won a Super Bowl ring with the Giants. This is Washington, and he gets swallowed up by Snacks. Snacks Harrison makes the play.
Snacks was hungry on this play, huh, Kenny? This is the matchup, right? Good matchup to today, working against Kelechi Osemele, and Snacks wins that battle. He is tough to deal with inside. You ask any of the Raiders on offense, he was the one guy they were pointing to. You could talk about the edge rushers and JPP and Olivier Vernon, but his ability to rush or to play in the run game and rush the passer on the way to the quarterback is phenomenal.
Second down and 12. Carr slings it out. This is Richard. And Richard is knocked out of bounds at the Giants' 46-yard line.
You know, Kenny, you mentioned David Carr, Derek's brother, being with the Giants. He's got quite a connection to this Giants team, right? Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator for the Giants, when he was out of work after he got fired from Tampa, did a lot of work with Derek Carr getting ready for his pro day, and actually ran his pro day. And he talked to Mike Sullivan about what he thinks of Derek Carr. He thinks the world of him. He's a great kid, obviously. Everybody in the Bay Area knows that. Just impressed with his development so far in his young career.
Right, it was David Carr who recommended Sullivan to his brother. They were together with the Giants. Third down and 7. Carr finds Lynch. Nice move, and he picks up a first down and more. Still going. Giants finally bring it down at the 25-yard line as Marshawn Lynch Needed 70, gained 21.
That is quintessential Marshawn Lynch. And he makes defenders, especially DBs, make business decisions. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie misses, doesn't get him. Shakes Landon Collins and then gets into the second level of the secondary and just runs through people. Marshawn Lynch is amazing. Amazing run. 3rd and 7, needed a first down. Just dump it to your back and let the beast do the work.
First and 10, 25-yard line. Carr, the adjustment by Holton, and he makes the catch.
What an adjustment there. Wow. Watch Derek Carr. A lot of quarterbacks will just pump this down the sideline, but he gets back shoulder. I'm going to throw my guy open because the coverage is well. And look at that. Tap, tap, completion. That's awesome. What a catch by Holton. And what a nice, confident throw by Derek Carr.
Tremendous play.
Take a look. Did he step out before? Nope. Man, that's clean. That is so good.
First time in the red zone for the Raiders today.
Timeout, Oakland.
Timeout taken by Oakland. First and goal from the 9-yard line for the Raiders. Just over 10 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Start your day with First Things First. Join Chris Carter, Nick Wright, Jenna Wolf for the best sports show on television. Weekday morning, 6:30 Eastern on FS1, and I'm sure they will be discussing the Giants situation. A lot of questions about Ben McAdoo's job security. Giants co-owner John Mara earlier this week was asked, is Ben's job secure for the rest of the year? He said, there are no guarantees in life.
Well, and that's a change of, right? That's a change from even just a couple of weeks before. But when we sat down with Ben McAdoo, he seemed completely comfortable with the decision that he made. Now, whether that's him being resigned to his fate or what, he believes that this team is better off with Geno at quarterback today. It's yet, we still got a quarter to figure out if that was indeed the right decision.
First and goal from the 9 for the Raiders. This is Washington, and he will take it in for an Oakland touchdown.
Good play call here, Todd Downing. Spread out the entire formation. You got 3 wide receivers to the top, 1 split out to the bottom. So you give a lot of room inside, and all you need is 1 good block. You see Gabe Jackson work off that double team, get up to the second level on Munson. That is exactly what gap football should look like. Well done. Good job by Washington running through a tackle. Touchdown, Raiders. And Kenny, there is a giant down on the field. I think it's Landon Collins. And he does not look good.
Dwayne Washington with his second touchdown run of the season. Let's keep an eye on Collins here.
Yeah, you'll see him come in here. Maybe watch this leg whip when he gets on JPP. He walked off the field, so hopefully that he is okay, because Landon Collins is the best player on this Giants defense.
Giants already missing so many key players on both sides of the ball. League high, 20 Giants on injured reserve. Vecchio with the extra point. Raiders lead the Giants by 10. 4th quarter in Oakland. DeAndre Washington, second year back out of Texas Tech, with the 9-yard TD run, 8 plays, 79 yards. Derek Carr, perfect 5 for 5 on that drive, including that terrific catch along the sideline made by Johnny Holton.
Yeah, 2 big plays. The 3rd down conversion to Marshawn Lynch, breaking all his tackles, and then Holton on the sideline with that catch. Man, that was a fantastic play, young player.
Raymond will take it out. Falls down. And then is tackled at the 12-yard line. Well, this weekend, NFL players lacing up, letting their cleats do the talking as part of My Cause, My Cleats. Players supporting charitable causes important to them through cleats that are custom designed and inspired by their causes. Discover the stories behind the cleats. Bid on select players' special edition cleats at NFL.com/MyCauseMyCleats. Jason Pierre-Paul, the Giants, with cleats in honor of the hurricane relief recovery down in Puerto Rico.
Here we go. Right here. Here we go.
First and 10 from the 12-yard line for Geno Smith and the Giants as the pass is caught by Tavares King, with Bobby Hart now in the game at right tackle Rondé for the Giants.
Ready, go.
Mark number 68, placing Chad Wheeler as Smith connects with Shane Vereen out across the 20-yard line.
As if they needed more turmoil across the offensive line. And not that Chad Wheeler was playing great, but Bobby Hart's been out of the lineup for quite some time here this year.
And for an update on Chad Wheeler, down to Christina.
Yeah, Kenny, Chad Wheeler suffered from a concussion. That is why he will not return to the game, but obviously moving pieces on that offensive line and why Hart is now in this game.
All right, thanks, Christina. Wheeler, the rookie out of USC. Hart missed the last 2 games. 3rd down and 1. This is Darkwa.
I think the spot's going to say that he got this, but this was close. Good push on the guard center. Brett Jones there, and Jalapio really give Darkwa just that little bit of room to pick up that first down.
You had a look at Ben McAdoo. We've been talking about his situation, the Giants' quarterback situation all afternoon long. As Smith will hand it off on first down. It's Darkwa up the middle for a gain of 8, and Ben McAdoo told us last night it was a tough decision. I respect everything Eli Manning has done, but I have to do what's best for the organization. I wouldn't be here without Eli. I can't imagine any other player handling it this way as Eli has. He also told us, I don't think he's done. I still think he's a winning quarterback, and you can win a championship with him. That is what Ben McAdoo told us about Eli Manning last night. Nice catch by Sterling Shepard inside the 30 of the Raiders, and finally forced out of bounds by Reggie Nelson. So for the Giants, that's their biggest play of the day, 47 yards for Shepard.
I've been waiting for Shepard to do something all day. He's working on Kerry here in the slot. Just a good release. Free release. Kerry doesn't get his hands on. And that was a nice, strong throw by Geno Smith. Right on time, right in space, a little bit behind him, and he makes a good adjustment. A big play for this Giants offense. Exactly what they needed there.
So the Giants with their longest run of the day, 8 yards by Darkwa, and their longest reception, 47 yards by Shepard on back-to-back plays.
There we go.
First and 10 from the 22. Inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
Big plays like that, Kenny, it can sort of get your offense revved up, get everybody's blood pressure up, get everybody running faster and harder, playing a little bit. You feel the urgency, right? We saw the no huddle earlier in the game from the Giants. It hadn't really materialized yet. Now they feel that stress. They feel that they're down by 10 points. Yes, they're playing with the backup quarterback at Geno Smith. They got problems across the offensive line, but the urgency is there. It's showing itself on this drive.
Second down and 1.
Here we go.
Smith looking to throw. Rolling right, chased by Mack and Irvin. Well, those guys have been around Geno Smith all day long. Khalil Mack and his college teammate Bruce Irvin.
Eric Flowers holds up pretty well right here on Khalil Mack. Just enough to buy Geno time to get out of the pocket. On the other side, Bobby Hart, who we just mentioned, I think does a great job here on Irvin. Handles the counter, gives your quarterback time to escape the pocket. Geno Smith finds that corner, picks up the first down.
Hey, 38's the
We approach 6 minutes remaining. First and 10 from the Raiders' 12-yard line. Darkwa. I want to get back to that one quote, Rondé, from Ben McAdoo in our meeting last night regarding Eli. He said, I still think he's a winning quarterback, and you can win a championship with him.
That's an interesting take right on Eli Manning, because I don't think that he's done. Yes, he wasn't playing well, but the entire offense wasn't playing well. Now, is Eli Manning a Ben McAdoo type of quarterback? Obviously not, or he would not have made that decision. He would have let Eli Manning play out this stretch. But instead, he wants to get a look at Geno Smith. Eventually, he'll try to get a look at Davis Webb as well in his position. They're trying to score here now, Kenny, down the red zone. Remember what happened last time they got in the position with the sack fumble. Let's see if Geno makes a better decision.
On 2nd and 8, Smith throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Evan Engram.
Evan Engram was our player to watch, and this is a fantastic route. I played against Tony Gonzalez. He ran this route to perfection. It's just a little dink out, step out. I'm going to turn up field, sold it perfectly, and the pass is on time, back of the end zone, touchdown. This was a good decision. He got the protection he needed. Good job by Eric Flowers there. You see him deal with the counter of Khalil Mack. And it's a touch throw over top of the defense. Well done.
Remember we mentioned earlier, Engram in the red zone. He's now been targeted 7 times. All touchdowns.
It's a pretty high percentage, Kenny. They're going to look, obviously, scoring plays reviewed. I think his feet were in. I think clear catch. Big Mitts get their hands on the ball. Touch, touch, touchdown.
And he sets a Giants record for touchdowns by a rookie tight end.
And he's not.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
He's not that big. You stand next to him on the field, and he looks like a wide receiver. Obviously, he's been asked to do stuff in line as a blocker. He can do that as well, but he is a receiving threat, and he is a good one.
Extra point by Rosas is good. Geno Smith keeping the football. First touchdown pass as a Giant. Coming into the game today, these are all of the Giants who have thrown a pass since Eli Manning's first start, including your brother.
Yeah, let's look at that. Those guys right there, those are all imposters.
Only 7 quarterbacks. David Carr threw 3 of the 4 touchdown passes, Ryan Nassib the other, and now Geno Smith today. Only the 3rd Giant quarterback to throw a TD pass other than Eli since Eli took over for Kurt Warner back in November of 2004. Injured Raider is John Feliciano. Backup center.
Back up everything. John Feliciano's played every position on that offensive line. Obviously, some of those big guys get out on kickoff return, lead the way. Looks to be all right, though.
Raiders now have a 3-point lead following the Giants' touchdown on their longest drive of the game, 88 yards. So now Derek Carr and the Raiders go back to work. Chargers still leading the Browns 19-10. Chiefs lost earlier today to the Jets. Raiders, who made the playoffs last season, look to get back. They had not been to the postseason, Rondé, since their Super Bowl loss to your Tampa Bay Bucks back in January of 2003.
Well, it's been a long drought for Oakland, obviously getting back last year and having kind of a dip in everything. Production-wise, Derek Carr, the defense has been a disappointment for much of the year. But they got a chance still, and that's a good thing here in Oakland.
Cordero Patterson, first down and more. Patterson still going. Chased by Collins, who brings him down.
So fast, man. The guy is so explosive. Who needs a route tree when you can do this with the football in your hand? Good blocking out front. There's no route here. This is Johnny Holton. Look at him at a point. Give me a sliver of hope and a seam, I'll make one guy miss, and I'll just outrun everybody else. Give Landon Collins credit here, though, staying in the fight, swiping the leg to get him tackled before he scores, and the Raiders have something to this guy. Minnesota didn't know what to do with him. Talked to them many times about Cordero Patterson as a receiver. All you got to do is get the ball in his hands. He's going to do something special with it.
59 yards on that one. Here's Lynch. So the Raiders started the game with a 51-yard run on their third play. And now late in the fourth, 59 yards from Carr to Cordero Patterson.
Well, the Giants had to feel good, right? Drive all the way down the football field, get a touchdown that brings them within 3 points, and then one play to Cordero Patterson on a slip screen, and they're down here in the red area looking to score and put this game out of reach with only 4 minutes left in the football game.
Second and goal. Split backs. Carr rolling right. Now he throws out of bounds. Was Roberts when he made the catch.
So we'll come back to the pylon. All you got to do is beat man coverage. The ball should be right on him, and it is. This is close. Ball hit on the pylon. There's his knee on the ground when he catches that. Jack Del Rio might want to think about challenging this. Obviously, it's not going to go to review because it wasn't a score. He's got the flag out. He's throwing. This is close. I'm glad we got Dean Blandino to clarify this for us.
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Good challenge, Kenny, because you know that it was a completion. He's got control. Whether or not his knee was down, you really can't see it because Boris' cheek is in the way. Get out of the way, Boris. Look at that. His knee's on the ground. Ball looks to be completed by that picture. One knee equals 2 feet.
Also, did the ball come loose? Did he maintain control?
Yeah, that's what they're going to look at.
Dean Blandino with us from Los Angeles. Dean, what do you see?
Yeah, I'm looking at this like you guys are. And I'm looking at that left knee, and it appeared from that end zone shot, looking down the line, that the knee was in bounds. Then we have to see, did he maintain control all the way to the ground? Did he have control of the football, breaking the plane to the goal line and then push back into the field of play? So there's a lot of different things here. If it is a catch, I don't think it's a touchdown. The issue is going to be that knee, and let's look at that angle. I think the knee does touch down inbounds, but again, did he maintain control of the ball all the way to the ground?
And obviously, Dean, what's called on the field will impact the decision here as well.
Exactly. It's got to be clear and obvious. They ruled it incomplete. The official, you can see he signaled, he made this signal, meaning he has the receiver out of bounds.
Yeah, good point.
And they're going to have to see something clear. And if you watch it there, it looks like that left knee is in bounds right there. And he does maintain control as he goes out of bounds. Then the next question, was it a touchdown?
That's a good point. Al Riveron back in New York will have to make that decision, but that's bang, bang. That's close right there. I'm glad I'm not making the decision.
A lot to look for. Thanks, Dean. Here comes Pete Morelli.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands, incomplete pass. Third down.
So Jack Del Rio loses the challenge. So we thank Dean Blandino for joining us once again. And Rondé, you made a great point. Because it was ruled an incompletion on the field, they had to have clear evidence to overturn. They did not. In New York, Al Riveron. Carr had completed his last 9 pass attempts until that one. It is now 3rd and goal from the 9 for Derek Carr and the Raiders. Carr over the middle, and then the ball came loose. It's ruled a touchdown. Johnny Holton crossed the plane before he lost the football, ruled a touchdown on the field, but now the officials will get together, and again they signal touchdown.
Well, I think it is going to be a touchdown. The ball broke the plane.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. The receiver was breaking the plane to the goal line with possession.
He broke the plane before the hit from Landon Collins. All scoring plays are reviewed, so they will take a look at it, but it certainly looks like it's a Raiders score.
Well, great play design. Getting your wide receiver working on linebacker Kelvin Shepard there. Mismatch, right? Derek Carr knew exactly where he wanted to go with that football based on the structure of the Giants defense. Put it right on him. Touchdown, Raiders.
So Johnny Holton, who was discovered by coaches from the University of Cincinnati while he was playing flag football. He did not play in high school. The extra point just inside the right upright. Carr to Holton. Raiders extend their lead. Derek Carr approaching 300 yards for the day. That 59-yard connection with Cordero Patterson on the last drive leading to the Raiders touchdown.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thunk it right out of those first quarter stats. Really trying to establish. Look at Cordero Patterson. Hey, my producer just got in my ear and said, I don't know if I'd want to run into Derek Carr in the playoffs. I think I agree with you. He gets hot, this offense gets going.
Remember, he did not have the opportunity to play in the postseason last year following his late season injury.
That's exactly right.
Here's Khalif Raymond out across the 20. So Geno Smith and the Giants offense back out onto the field. How long has it been since someone aside from Eli Manning started a game at quarterback for the Giants? There you have it, 4,748 days. 188 other quarterbacks have started games since then. By the way, 81 of the 188 are still active. And the NFC East teams have all started at least 10. For the Raiders, the number is 17 starting quarterbacks since Eli took over for the Giants. Smith on first down, connects with Ingram. And the Giants rookie tight end gains 4. And for more on Geno Smith and Eli Manning, down to Christina.
Hey, Kenny. Well, Eli Manning has served as a second set of eyes for Geno Smith throughout this game. They've been talking throughout, but after he threw that touchdown pass, Smith coming off the field, Eli made sure to come over, congratulate him, and tell him that that was a great throw. But we've certainly seen the two communicating throughout this game.
Thanks, Christina. Smith directing traffic. And now he takes off and picks up a first down.
Well, this is the second or third time now we've seen that dynamic that, you say what you want to about Eli as a quarterback, he would have made a throw there probably, but Geno Smith adds the ability to do that, to escape the pocket under duress, pick up some positive yards instead of taking the sack. And if you want to evaluate what Geno's done today, he's thrown for almost 200 yards. He's made 2 bad decisions, obviously holding the football on those sacks, but I've seen some good things, seen some inconsistent things as well.
That pass is broken up, intended for Sterling Shepard. Nicholas Morrow defending. When we asked Ben McAdoo last night, point blank, do you have any regrets? Would you have handled the situation any differently? He said no regrets.
No regrets at all. What he's regretting is the guys getting hurt on his offense, including Sterling Shepard, who missed a number of games, obviously missing Odell Beckham Jr., who the offense went through. Mentioned that at the top of the show.
Second down and 10. Smith complete to Gallman, who was injured earlier. He's returned, and he's tackled 2 yards shy of the marker. Ben McAdoo also told us when you're 2-9, nobody's job is safe, including coaches.
He's right about that.
Time winding down. Giants trail the Raiders by 10. 3rd down and 2. Smith fires. Oh, what a catch by Evan Ingram. Spectacular.
Wow. Of the spectacular catches we've seen today, this by far is the best. Oh my goodness. Wow. What a catch by Evan Ingram. 2-minute warning coming up.
7 receptions, 99 yards for Ingram today. What a catch just prior to the 2-minute warning by Evan Ingram.
Yeah, working on Nicholas Morrow and man-to-man coverage. You think he wanted to catch us with one hand? Give it to him. Get those up the hand, and then goes up with that same hand. Man, that was special. He's a special young football player. If you're New York Giants and amidst all the turmoil and the disappointment of the season, be happy that you have that guy on your roster in the future.
Susan High, 7 receptions, 99 yards for Ingram, as that pass gets knocked down by Danico Autry.
Well, he missed Ingram wide open on this route. Playing zone coverage, nobody goes with him. Oh, look, he wanted it. Geno Smith makes the decision to go the other way. He had a wide open receiver right in the middle of the field.
from the Raiders 36. Second down and 10.
Go to 50, go to 50.
Smith pointing out Nicholas Morrow, number 50. Smith fires, and that's off the hands of Tavares King.
Got to catch this football. Good route. You got off coverage. It's going to give you the space. Nice break coming out, but it's got to be a completion. The Giants are in that situation right now. Third and long. They're only down 10 points, so a field goal onside kick. Got 3 timeouts. Maybe give you a chance. Let's see what they decide to do here with the conversion here on third down. Here's Ingram.
Giants must get to the 26 for a first down, and this play is blown dead.
Defense, neutral zone infraction, number 52. Have to just a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Geno thought he had a free play here, and his receivers weren't on the same page. A lot of youth out there, right? Veteran receiver would know, just go. Since the play was dead at the line of scrimmage, nobody went. He didn't get his opportunity to throw a jump ball.
Khalil Mack, the guilty Raider, now third down and 5. A minute 52 remaining. Smith steps up, and down he goes. Back at the 34-yard line. Danico Autry.
Nico Autry, 2 sacks last week. This is a working man sack here. Right here. He's going to get blocked by Jalapeno. Just stays in the fight. And when Geno Smith steps up, he's available. You know, a lot of defensive linemen always want to get edges and break to the quarterback, but you got those 2 edge guys and Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin. One guy stays home, cleans up on an escaping quarterback. Nice play.
So the Giants send out the field goal unit. Rosas sees an high as 51. This will be a 52-yard attempt. Ron Wing will place it down from the left hash. Rosas from 52 yards out. His kick is good. A new season long for Aldrick Rosas, and the Giants are within 7.
He drilled that thing. That thing hit halfway up the net. That would have been good from another 10 yards. Snap, hold, perfect. Laces out as if that matters, but he drills it. Now the Giants got an opportunity for an onside kick.
With a minute 38 remaining, from the producers of American Horror Story and The People vs. O.J. Simpson comes a new series on Fox, told through the eyes of first responders, starring Angela Bassett, Peter Krause, and Connie Britton. 911 series premiere this January. You know, we worked the Giants-Rams game last month. They lost 51-17. Came out to the Bay Area, lost to the 0-9 49ers next week. No matter what the end result today, you have to be impressed with their effort.
Their effort has been there, and it's been there the past couple of weeks. And I didn't think the effort was there against the LA Rams that week, but they've shown themselves today, putting up a fight, maybe a little overmatched against this Oakland team. Need an onside kick here.
And it's recovered by the Raiders.
And he didn't get the hot. DeAndre Washington, this ball just trickled right into his hands. Watch it just skid off the turf here. You would hope to be looking to get a little hop here once this thing bounces, maybe ricochet off somebody, and you see it just skid across the turf. Easy pickup for Washington, and Raiders can run out the clock here.
Giants do have 2 timeouts.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I get ahead of myself sometimes.
Giants can stop the clock twice.
So we still have football to play, is what you're telling me.
We're good. And he's tight. He's tight. It's just coming down. 21.
First and 10, 48-yard line.
Now. Blue ID.
This is Washington. to the 42, and now the Giants will use their first timeout. Stop the clock at 1:31. Giants with one timeout remaining. Geno Smith, first start as a Giant. How would you assess his day?
It's been good. He's had some big plays. Evan Ingram's bailed him out a couple of times. Had a fantastic catch there on that last drive, but you know, he's been in and out of the pocket. I think that the offense has had to change for him. You know, it's not as simple as people think. You just plug in a quarterback, he executes the same thing. Well, that hadn't been working all year long. Eli Manning was getting his face beat in by this bad offensive line, and Geno Smith is able to get out of the pocket, create some things on the run. And when you talk to Coach McAdoo and talk about changing the offense and the dynamic that Geno brings, that's what it was. And honestly, there's mixed results for it. He had 212 yards passing, whatever it was on the day, but he also had two crucial turnovers or giveaways that really is going to lose this football game for this football team.
Both in the second quarter. So the Raiders now facing a 3rd and 1. A first down will end the game. Giants have used their final timeout.
There's teaching moments in this, right? Your football team down a score, 3rd and 1, need a stop. See what you got. This is the play. If you're the Giants, this is the play that decides the football game, or at least gives you an opportunity to decide the football game if you get the ball back.
On 3rd down and 1, it's Washington, and he will pick up a first down. And that will put an exclamation point on today's game for the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, good push up front by the Raiders. Gabe Jackson out in front again. He's had a fantastic game. You saw him spring Washington on his touchdown run. Pulls there, gets in front, up on the linebacker, falls for 1 yard, and game is over. And give credit to the Oakland Raiders here. They got to fight against the 2-9 Giants team and had to come away with the big fourth quarter. Derek Carr and the offense did exactly that. They're going to get a win at home and be tied for the lead in the AFC West.
John Del Rio knew it wouldn't be easy. Giants' 2 wins have come against teams in the AFC West. But the Raiders hang on and defeat the New York Giants. Here's Eli Manning with Derek Carr. The Carr family, big fans of Eli Manning. Raiders win it 24-17, pull into a tie for first place in the AFC West. Saw Derek Carr with Mike Sullivan. So for Rondé Barber and Christina Pink, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Oakland as we send you to Glendale, Arizona in a moment for the conclusion of the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Rams with a 32-16 lead. To Glendale we go. Chris Myers, Daryl Johnston, and Laura Open.